Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the channel USK Unique World is made for you to give the more information about the world history. Today I would like to talk about the ancient history of the America, the earliest history, and the civilization of the Olmec. Olmec was one of the most ancient and probably the earliest civilization which was built on the Gulf of Mexico, which was actually centered on the central Mexico and to the southern and also to the northern. So Olmec culture and civilization was gradually developed by the people at the times, because the people found beautiful locations and also a great geography which actually helped to build and develop their civilization at the time. However, the Olmec society's peoples were accustomed for the farming. They found the fantastic environment for farming and growing more crops and also taking different kind of facilities such as the cutting the woods and using different and making different kinds of artifacts or like some good furniture for their usings, and they made their beautiful houses by using the trees leaves, also using clays and also some stones, because that area was a very rugged stones areas, and also the mixing of the clays and also the water. So all these things were played a vital role for developing Olmec society. So Olmecs actually had the two cities, and first one is the San Lorenzo, which was become very famous at the times and was most populous, and different kind of buildings and other facilities were actually introduced in these cities. The people at the times connected with the North American surrounding areas with the other states, and also the South Americans peoples. They maintain naval routes which help to trade and commerce. So this was the San Lorenzo became one of the most busiest and beautiful city at the times. And side by side there also another city which was called La Venta, and which was very famous. However, so the Olmec people accustomed to build the pyramidal buildings. They had the great similarity with the pyramids of the Egypt, but on the top of the sides of the pyramids were a little bit levels, and which was a little bit different from the pyramids of Egypt. So Olmec peoples believed the gods, and the gods were actually human-like, half human, half jaguar. The spirit of the jaguar and face also found the jaguar shapes, and might be the most important, also the most important gods of the people of Olmecs. And they also had chosen a ruler which who was thought about to be himself was also a godly, who was actually behaved with the god-likes. The peoples of the Olmec peoples had the great capacity and had the great artistic capability to build up such like the pyramids of the buildings, which actually had the great influence of the history of the Olmec peoples in the North Americans. And however, there had the great advantage of the enormous stones which helped them to build up these gigantic buildings without actually using any kind of materials like the iron or other things. So in that way they actually build up some statues of the gods, and also they made these palatial buildings, the pyramidals. So the Olmec peoples had the great contributions in the history of the Mesoamericans. They were actually using the hieroglyphics like the Egyptians, and they had the great adept in actually making the potteries, and they had also the enormous stocks of the gold, silvers and other metals, which were very important for the people of Olmec. However, now I would like to talk about the another civilization, but before going to describing the another civilization, the Olmec civilization actually collapsed by due to some natural calamities might be, or the peoples, or the economic crisis of that areas, or the rulers were himself actually responsible for collapsing this great civilization. However, after the Olmecs, the Japutec civilization was established, and the Japutecs were very experts in different kind of making some special engravings and architectures. It was the Monte Alvane, the city, and it was the people, those who are called the first city builders in the North America. So the Japutecs actually centered on the city Monte Alvane, which was very rich and had the great influence for the peoples of that areas. So Japutecs peoples are not actually different from the former civilization like the Olmecs. They had also continued their creativity by building of the palatial buildings, which were look like the especially pyramids, and the pyramids were very famous at the times, and it is